Hi everybody and welcome to my channel, Spanish Pills, the best YouTube channel to learn to speak Spanish. Hola a todos y a todas, valientes amantes del español y bienvenidos a mi canal Spanish Pills, el mejor canal de YouTube para aprender a hablar español. I've made this video because I wanted to share with you how to express the reason why something just happened in Spanish. And as you can see, I've written part 1 because I hope you enjoy so much this video that you want me to make a part 2 or even a part 3. Who knows? As you will see, it's not something really hard to learn. It's not difficult. It's very easy. Why is it so easy? Because it's the same as in English. And when things are the same in Spanish and in English, they are easy. That's the only reason why it's so easy. Even though it's not difficult, we need to practice and we're going to do it together. So, ¿estáis preparados para aprender un poquito más de español? ¿Sí? Fantástico. 3, 2, 1. Comenzamos. Well, how do you express the reason why something happened in English? You can use a preposition or you can use a conjunction. A preposition, it would be because of, and a conjunction would be because. As you can see, because of is a preposition in Spanish as well, por, and because is a conjunction in Spanish as well, porque. So, what do I have to do with all this information? Whenever you use because of in Spanish, you say por. And if you use because in Spanish, you say porque. As easy as that. Didn't I tell you this was a very easy thing to learn? I didn't lie to you. You can always trust me. You see? Okay. Now we have to put all this into practice. Before I forget, try to repeat each sentence at least a couple of times after me so you can keep practicing your pronunciation. Yes? Okay. So let's start. By the way, whenever I find that there's some interesting and useful extra information for you to learn about grammar, spelling, vocabulary, obviously regarding Spanish, I will always share with you, okay? Okay, so first sentence. Primera frase. Lo siento mucho. Llegamos tarde. El tráfico. So, how would you express the reason why you are late? Lo siento mucho, llegamos tarde por el tráfico. Like in English, because of the traffic. About llegamos tarde, I think it's the only relevant thing about this sentence. Llegar tarde in Spanish, in English, to be late. Okay? Or something like to arrive late. Although the proper translation is to be late. Llegar tarde. The first sentence was a good one because it could work as an excuse but also as an explanation. Let's see about the second sentence. Segunda frase. El avión no pudo despegar la tormenta. Like in the previous sentence, el avión no pudo despegar por la tormenta. Like in English, because of the storm. And about this sentence, the verb despegar is a phrasal verb in English, to take off. Other than that, it's a very easy sentence. I don't think there's anything else I can share with you about this one. Tercera frase. This is a little bit long. Let's see what happened here. Mi hermano pequeño tuvo un accidente con el coche hace unos meses. Conducía demasiado rápido. Okay, the very first thing, we have to solve a mystery here. Is it porque or por? The right answer is porque. Mi hermano pequeño tuvo un accidente con el coche hace unos meses porque conducía demasiado rápido. There are a few interesting things about this sentence. The first one, mi hermano pequeño. In English, you say my younger brother, and I think you can also say my little brother, right? In Spanish, we can only say mi hermano pequeño. Don't say mi hermano más joven. That's wrong. Second thing, car accident. We translate that as accidente con el coche. Something like an accident with his car. That's how we say it. Hace unos meses, a few months ago. Ago, hace. You put ago at the end, we put hace at the beginning. And whenever you have the word ago in English, in Spanish, you use the preterite, never the imperfect. Okay? Other than that, I think that's all. Cuarta frase. Salí antes del trabajo, me encontraba mal. And in this case, the word we're looking for is porque. Salí antes del trabajo porque me encontraba mal. When you're feeling sick, you can translate that as encontrarse mal. Encontrarse is a reflexive verb, that's why you say me encontraba mal. You in English are using the past continuous. In Spanish, instead of using the past continuous, you use the imperfect. Okay? And salir del trabajo means to leave work. And we put antes, that would be early, in the middle. Okay? So in English you say I left work early. In Spanish you would say salí antes del trabajo. And you're probably wondering why I am translating the word early as antes instead of más temprano or temprano, because that's the meaning of the word early. But in this context, we translate it as antes. We don't say temprano. Okay? When you leave work early, actually you are leaving work before the time you're supposed to leave work. So in a way, it makes sense, okay? Because antes means before. I don't really want to make a big deal out of this because it's not that important. But it is true that we should pay attention to all these little things because these little details are the ones that make us realize if you can speak Spanish correctly. Okay? So pay attention to the little things. Try to be a little bit of a perfectionist. Un poquito perfeccionista. Okay? Quinta frase. No pudimos ir de picnic el mal tiempo. ¿Porque or por? What do you think? Por. Muy bien. No pudimos ir de picnic por el mal tiempo, because of the bad weather. And another thing, to go on a picnic in Spanish, ir de picnic. Sexta frase. Aprobó el examen de química, estudió muchísimo. And this time the right answer is porque. Aprobó el examen de química porque estudió muchísimo. Vamos a por la séptima frase. Me mudé a Barcelona, mi nuevo trabajo. Why did I move to Barcelona? That's what I'm asking. Por mi nuevo trabajo. Because of my new job. Me mudé a Barcelona por mi nuevo trabajo. And one more thing. The verb to move in Spanish is mudarse. It's a reflexive one. Reflexive verbs always need a reflexive pronoun in any verb tense. Present, past, future, conditional, it doesn't matter. So in this case, I have to say me mudé. If the subject was tú, you, it would be te mudaste. I'm gonna give you all the possibilities here, okay? So if the subject was he or she, it would be se mudó. If the subject was we, it would be nos mudamos. If the subject was you, it would be os mudasteis. And if the subject was they, it would be se mudaron. Obviously, the second part of the sentence wouldn't work if we change the subject, but anyway, that's not the important thing here. We were just practicing how to conjugate the preterite of a reflexive verb in Spanish. Octava frase. Atrajo la atención de todos los invitados su extraordinaria belleza. And the sentence would be, atrajo la atención de todos los invitados por su extraordinaria belleza. As you can see, the word order, the last two words, is a bit weird, right? Because in Spanish, the adjective goes after the noun. And in this case, it goes before the noun, like in English. So what's going on here? Okay, in English we say a red car. In Spanish we say un coche rojo. That's like the general rule. But like all rules, sometimes we can break them. And I love when that happens. When we do that, the only intention is to make emphasis on the importance of the adjective. So we can put it before the noun. But how and when to do this is not easy to explain. It's not easy to understand because you cannot always do it. So just pay attention to this. Notice that it can happen and try to understand the meaning of this new word order. I will try to find more examples and give you a deeper explanation so you can learn how to do this. Novena frase. No me gusta jugar al Monopoly, siempre pierdo. Let's see how come you don't like playing Monopoly. No me gusta jugar al Monopoly porque siempre pierdo. Okay, the word monopoly. In Spanish, monopoly. Same spelling, different pronunciation. The word al. You have a preposition a and the definite article el. You put them together as just one word, al, and you remove the e, okay? A el, wrong. Al. It happens the same with the preposition de, de, plus the definite article el. You don't say de el, but del. Just one word and one e. You have to remove another e. Like for instance in car keys, las llaves del coche. And now I would like to share a tip with you that works as a strategy, a very useful one. Just try to imagine that you don't remember how to say the verb to lose in Spanish. And you want to say, no me gusta jugar al Monopoly porque siempre pierdo. But you can't remember that to lose means perder. However, you do remember the verb to win, ganar. So, what if you say the same thing but using the verb ganar instead? How it would be? It would be, no me gusta jugar al Monopoly porque nunca gano. I never win. So, this is a very good strategy. When you don't remember a word in Spanish, try to find an opposite or a synonym, or just try to explain what you mean. ¿Ok? Décima frase. Te lo cuento, quiero saber tu opinión. And the missing word here is porque, because. Te lo cuento porque quiero saber tu opinión. Just one more thing. I am telling you. This is translated as te lo cuento. Different things. The verb tense. In English, present continuous. In Spanish, present simple. And the fact that you have to say lo. In English, I am telling you. In Spanish, te lo cuento. It is as if you were telling in English, I am telling it to you, or something like that. If you think about it, it makes sense because you're telling something. That's why we say lo. Lo makes allusion to that something I am telling you. Vamos con otra. Estábamos buscando un restaurante japonés. Queríamos cenar sushi. ¿Os gusta el sushi? A mí me encanta el sushi. I would love to go to Japan just to try the real one. The real Japanese sushi eaten in Japan. Can you imagine that? What an experience. And the word we are looking for is porque. Estábamos buscando un restaurante japonés porque queríamos cenar sushi. ¿Probamos con otra? Venga. Nuestro nuevo producto no se vende, su mala calidad. Nuestro nuevo producto no se vende por su mala calidad. Because of. Just one more thing. I translated mala calidad in English as poor quality. In Spanish, the word poor means pobre, but with quality, it means bad, and you cannot say pobre. So, mala calidad. And this is one of those exceptions where you can put the adjective before the noun. Not only you can do it, but you should do it. It sounds much better. Mala calidad instead of calidad mala. Calidad mala, wrong. Venga, ya estamos terminando. Un último esfuerzo. Vamos allá. El partido de tenis fue aplazado la intensa lluvia. Lo primero. What's the word we're looking for? Por. Because of. Muy bien. El partido de tenis fue aplazado por la intensa lluvia. Second thing, the word heavy, heavy rain. Heavy in Spanish means pesado or pesada, but with the word lluvia, it means intensa. Third thing, about the word order. Once again, the adjective before the noun. As you can see, we use this strategy to make more emphasis, to remark the importance of the word heavy, intensa. That's why it goes before the noun. This is another example where you can do this. And the last thing, I promise, about the verb fue aplazado. Same verb tense, the passive voice. To be put off, was put off. And the verb aplazar means to put off. That was all. Actually, just one little thing. The word tenis, there's no spelling mistake. In Spanish, tenis has only one N. That's it. Thank you. Menos mal, una frase fácil. Thank God, an easy one. Penúltima frase. Miguel no puede correr más rápido su peso. ¿Por qué no puede Miguel correr más rápido? Por su peso. Because of his weight. Última frase. Me gustaría convertirme en un pianista profesional. Se me da muy bien tocar el piano. Okay, this is probably the most difficult sentence to explain, but not because of the choice between porque or por, but because other little things you're about to find out in a few seconds. You'll see. The word we're looking for, porque. Me gustaría convertirme en un pianista profesional porque se me da muy bien tocar el piano. Okay, so far so good? Get ready for what's coming. Convertirme, the verb to become. Convertirse, the infinitive. How can we play with reflexive verbs using the infinitive? Let's take a look at this table. Pay attention to this table and you'll see how easy it is. We are dealing with reflexive verbs, so we need a reflexive pronoun. But the problem is that we're using the infinitive, so where do we put the reflexive pronoun? At the end of the verb. What else do we need to know to be able to do this? We need to know the subject of the sentence. With the verb to become, convertirse, it would be like this. If the subject is yo, the verb would be convertirme. If the subject is tú, the verb would be convertirte. If the subject is él or ella, the verb would be convertirse. If the subject is nosotros or nosotras, the verb would be convertirnos. If the subject is vosotros or vosotras, the verb would be convertiros. And if the subject is ellos or ellas, the verb would be convertirse. So, the first word that we find in the sentence, me, is not a reflexive pronoun that belongs to the reflexive verb convertirse, but it belongs to the expression I would like to, me gustaría. One last thing about the verb to become in Spanish. It means convertirse, but it needs a preposition. In English, you would say, I would like to become a professional pianist. In Spanish, you would say, me gustaría convertirme en un pianista profesional. Convertirse en, to become. Now, the tricky part. To be good at. How do we translate that into Spanish? There are two different ways. The easy one, to be good at, ser bueno en, or just ser bueno. If you have an action after the preposition at in English, you don't translate the word at, you remove it, okay? I am good at playing piano. It could be translated as soy bueno tocando el piano. However, there's another way of translating this expression into Spanish, and unfortunately, it's much more complicated and it's the one we use more often. So be careful and pay attention to this. To be good at or to be bad at. Darse bien or darse mal. The thing. What is it you're good at? That's the object in English. In Spanish, it becomes the subject. That's why we only have two options here, singular or plural. Se me da bien something, singular, or se me dan bien more than one thing, plural. But the subject in English doesn't disappear in Spanish. It becomes the indirect object. I think we need a new table to explain this, so pay attention to the following table. Darse bien or mal, to be good or bad at whatever. First thing, the word se. It's not a reflexive pronoun. It is there because it is an impersonal sentence and you always have to put it at the beginning of the sentence. Second thing, the object in English is now the subject in Spanish. That's why we only have two options, singular or plural, because you can be good or bad at one thing or at many things. So if you're good at one thing, da. If you're good at many things, dan. Well, the complicated thing, the subject in English. We have to turn it into an indirect object and we need an indirect pronoun. So, I am good or bad at. Se me da bien or mal. You are good or bad at. Se te da bien or mal. He or she is good or bad at. Se le da bien or mal. In summary, when the subject in English is I, we use me in Spanish. When the subject in English is you, we use te in Spanish. When the subject in English is he or she, we use le in Spanish. Second part. If the subject is we are good or bad at, se nos da bien or mal. You are good or bad at, se os da bien or mal. They are good or bad at, se les da bien or mal. So, if the subject is we use nos in Spanish. If the subject is you, we use os in Spanish. And if the subject is they, we use les in Spanish. Okay, if you've reached this far of the video, you must be exhausted, agotados, agotadísimos, and you might even hate me a little bit, or even a lot. I can handle it. I deserve it. I'm so sorry if I just got a little bit crazy with all this, but you know, when I get overexcited about explaining things, that's what happens. Anyway, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share all this with you. I will try to make a video focusing on this because it's a very important thing that you need to learn to say in Spanish, in real life Spanish, because that's the way we speak. Okay? And if you have any doubts, don't hesitate to ask me anything. I'm here to help you. Remember that. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thanks for the extra effort that watching this video has meant for you. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. Hasta pronto. Adiós.